trailer reaction of Halloween Ends. Not kills. Halloween Ends. Evil.
Hey, I'm gonna quit.
dies
You said
tonight.
Halloween Kills. I quit the show. I'm walking away. No.
Yeah, you might want to quit the show after you see this trailer. I got some notes. This time. I'm trying to be all like organized and shit. I got some thoughts on this beyond just evil dies tonight. Finally. Maybe. We'll see. Probably not. If this movie's successful, evil does not die with this movie. It will continue on. Give everybody just a quick rundown of the Halloween franchise, this timeline rather. Where do you stand on that, and what did you think of this trailer?
So my history with Halloween. Halloween is my favorite horror film. 1978, by the way. Halloween 1978 is my favorite horror film of all time. I can get behind some of the. So I can get behind some of the other ones. Halloween 2 is good. Halloween Season of the Witch is fine. It's good. The rest are take it here, there. Rob Zombie's nonsense is garbage. I was really excited when I learned about these movies, this new trilogy, because they're bringing back Laurie Strode. They were trying to fix everything. And I saw the first one, 2018. It was fine. I was not a huge fan of it. It's very well known how much I hate Halloween Kills. I think it's a piece of garbage. I think it's one of the worst horror films I've seen in quite some time, up there with like Slender Man. Slender Man is the worst horror film I've seen in my lifetime. This is right up there as one of the worst things I've ever seen. So watching this
tell us how
trailer,
you really feel, Nick.
just watch my spoiler discussion. I'll tell you exactly how I feel about Halloween Kills. This trailer sucks. This is gonna be the same garbage as the first two. It's gonna suck. I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm gonna hate Halloween. I'm just gonna go back and watch the original movie that John Carpenter. I love the music for this trilogy because John Carpenter is doing some fun stuff. But 2018 is fine. But like I said, you've had two chances and you fucked them up both times. Halloween Ends. I just rather read the script and see how bad it is, so I know if I don't have to go see it or not. And maybe I'll probably go see it just for my review and stuff like that. But I don't like them. I think they're mistakes. I think the idea of having Michael Myers as a supernatural entity kind of ruins the idea of what 1978's Halloween made so great.
I know you're a bit more of a Halloween super fan than me, but that's where the movies eventually ended up going. The original movies, like he was this
And it
supernatural
was
being,
not good.
and
Yeah.
that's what they were wanting to get away from with Halloween 2018, was to have a more grounded, pure take on Halloween, and Kills just went right back into it by the end.
Yeah.
That's what always seemed odd to me.
Then you bring in Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy, I think is who it is.
Yeah, Tommy Doyle.
And you have that whole evil dies tonight. At the end of this movie, is it going to be like evil survives tonight or some shit? It just, even without watching a trailer, this was already on my least anticipated movie of the year list. Halloween Kills pisses me off.
So you're very hit or miss with the Halloween movies within this timeline, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
For me, my view of Halloween is slightly different, but kind of the same in some ways. When it comes to the first Halloween, I never hated the original Halloween. It just wasn't for me. Much like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was just like,
That's fine.
just do it for me. I mean, I didn't dislike it. It was just kind of, whatever. Now, I will say that my wife is a huge Halloween fan, so she always wants to watch it around Halloween. And as I got older, I did start to appreciate it more, and I actually started to enjoy it more. I wasn't super hyped to see the 2018 movie. I went to see it mainly because of my channel. So I went into 2018 with not very high expectations. I actually really liked it. It was my favorite one.
Yeah.
I was very surprised by
Most
that.
people did.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow, I really enjoyed this movie. So then when Halloween Kills was coming, I was excited. When it comes to Kills, though, no, I didn't like that movie. I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was derivative, had so many ridiculous things in it. It didn't do it for me. I disliked that movie greatly. I thought it had good special effects and good kills, which, hey, that's in the name. At least they got that right. The story and everything, it was just ridiculous. The whole mental patient running around and the crowd mentality. They worked in all this like political stuff, undertones and things like that. I was just like, get the fuck out of my movie. I mean, yeah, that stuff happens in real life, but that's not what I'm here to see. I'm here to see Michael Myers. 2018, I felt like stuck with that simpler, crazy guy, Halloween. He kills people. I was fine with that. And then Kills, they try and add in all this other stuff, and suddenly he's got supernatural powers that came out of fuck all nowhere. Which, like I said a minute ago, I don't understand why that was added in, because my understanding was that was one of the big things about retconning all the other sequels that went into all the crazy shit they went into. But anyway, this trailer, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. Now, I'm trying to take myself totally away from how I felt about the last film. Just looking at this trailer as a trailer and not saying this is a sequel to a movie I really didn't like. Just from what I see on screen in this trailer, okay. I mean, it doesn't really give us much, but I do have some questions about it. This is going to be a 4-year time jump from the end of the last movie. This motherfucker doesn't look like he ever bathes, and that's fine. He's a serial killer.
Evil
monster.
bathes tonight.
Yeah. Thank you for that. This fucker must stink to high heaven, which makes me wonder how in the fuck is he's sneaking up on people. They must smell this motherfucker from a mile away. Like they're in their house and he's upstairs hiding in a closet. They're like, what the fuck is that smell? Jesus Christ. That's a dead motherfucker.
Old Spice from Michael Myers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see how he's sneaking up on people just based on that. Also, an observation I made, movies centered around Halloween, they're centered around Halloween of when I was a kid. They're not centered around Halloween of now. You see the kids running around out in the streets and all the big Halloween thing. It's just not like that anymore. I wish it was. I miss Halloween like that. But Halloween, not the movies, the holiday, isn't like that. People aren't walking around on the streets like that many and in these neighborhoods and stuff. You'll get like centralized neighborhoods that do like a little thing. But a lot of them just, it's not like when I was a kid in the 80s or even in some in the 90s when kids were freely walking up and down streets. This should take place at a fucking trunk or treat or something if they want to be time accurate to how it is now. I honestly think that could have been interesting if they just acknowledged the fact that Halloween's not what it used to be, at least show like somewhat of a difference. But no, you look at these movies and it's like flashback to the 80s, but it takes place nowadays. And there's a part in the trailer when Michael is opening the door slowly and Laurie Strode's sitting there with a gun. She's just pointing it, waiting for him, pointing straight at his head, point blank, can't miss. She's got him dead to rights. How did the movie go past that part? They'll have some contrived shit, I'm sure, but I just don't. Setting that up, this motherfucker has been terrorizing your life for literally decades at this point. You have a gun pointed at his head. He can't get away that fast. He's not like the Flash. All she's got to do is unload on his head, bullet after bullet in his fucking head. And the movie's over. Also, supposedly, and this harkens back to Kills as well, is supposed to be political in some way as well, like they've added in some political stuff. When the fuck are we going to stop doing that? Okay, well, if you have a political intrigue movie, it makes sense. If you're making a movie about a political situation, it makes sense. But if you're making a fucking horror movie, a Halloween movie, a Friday the 13th movie, something like that, why? Stop.
Horror films, especially, look at The Purge, look at Jordan Peele's movies, they're all political in nature. And Halloween Kills was very political in nature. It dealt with the mob mentality. I don't want to get into politics, but you know what? You can see the silver lining or the lining of what it's going for.
Storming areas.
So that's what they go for. It's what horror films have always been. I mean, you can go back to Nightmare on Elm Street and go back to Halloween. And
with some of them, it makes sense. I mean, The Purge, the government is doing this thing, and there's a revolt against the government. Okay, it makes sense there. You could work it in, and that works.
But a lot of them are slanted towards a political nature. I mean, that's just how I've always seen it. But like Halloween Kills just went like super
in your face.
It's like we're super leftist, so we're just gonna go straight into this like crazy political idea.
And maybe that's the thing. Is maybe they have always been low key, and that's fine. It's not shoving it down your throat. Because when it comes to messages in movies, I typically don't mind them if they are done naturally. But when they start shoving stuff down my throat, even if it's a message I agree with, I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for you to shove your message down my throat, regardless if I agree with it or not. There's been movies I've seen that had a message that I was like, I ultimately agree basically with that, but I don't like you putting it here and trying to force it down people's throats. That's not what I'm here to see. If it works in a movie, great. If it fits, it fits. But it don't fit here. Escapism, it's a thing. Let me do it. I know you said you thought the trailer sucked, but what do you think about this movie? Is there any hope for Halloween Ends? Beyond the fact that hopefully it just ends this fucking run of movies.
No, I don't have any hope. I don't think it has any hope. I think you're either going to really love it or really hate it. If you like the other two, you're going to like it. I think at this point, I think the message and the concept is muddled. I think the idea and concept of who Michael Myers is muddled. I don't think anything's going to change. I think the idea, like we just talked about, 4-year skip into the future, I think is really dumb. How he got up the stairs to kill Laurie's daughter makes no fucking sense to me. Oh, he's in that house.
He's been hanging out with Jason Voorhees.
Magic.
Taught him how to teleport.
Like the video game, he just pops anywhere. How is he still in this fucking house? Did he go hide in the woods somewhere? Like we joked about, where has he been? Did he take a bath? Like what the fuck he's been doing for 4 years? So I don't know.
I don't know. Is that the house that's featured in the movie? I don't know the house well enough, nor do I don't know. This could be a totally different house. I will go into any movie hoping that it's good. And there's been movies we've had a good entry, a bad entry, and then they brought it back and had a good entry. And I do hope it does. And it could. I mean, they've built this whole thing with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers and how he's terrorized her whole entire life and pretty much ruined her entire adult life and killed her daughter and all. They have the parts for a really good revenge hell yeah movie of her daughter was killed. I thought it was ridiculous how her daughter was killed, but it doesn't change the fact that her daughter was killed. Her life is ruined. She's just like PTSD ridden. You know, they could build on that and make that just this whole movie be like, instead of him going around killing people, those two just fighting it out. Just all out war between each other. It could be badass.
Anything's possible.
I don't see it happening given what happened last time and some of the things I've heard behind the scenes, but I'm going to hope that it is. There's one bit of information. Now, once again, I'm not the super fan that some are, so I didn't pick up on this, but some are saying that that's not really Michael Myers, that it's an imposter.
I'm going to burn down fucking Halloween if that's true.
Yeah.
Like, if that is an imposter, that is the biggest bunch of horse shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Why, I don't know, but it's an imposter, maybe a copycat cat or something like that. And there was also a report, some had said that Michael Myers himself will die in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Unless they do a flashback thing, I don't see how that could happen. And I think that would turn everybody off if he died. And we know it, unless he dies and we don't realize he's died. If he dies in the first 5 minutes, the only way they could do that is like flashback earlier, that night or last week or
that
something.
Stuff in the house could be the beginning of the movie, because if you see, he has his fingers missing, which he had, I think, in the second movie, Halloween Kills. So that's a possibility. And
that was something people said, well, that's definitely him, at least when that hand gets stabbed, because who knows how that's edited together. They said that part is definitely him because he's missing the fingers. I guess they're saying other parts of the trailer's not really him. Possibly. I don't know. This could be people pulling this out of their ass, but it is quite a few people saying that it's an imposter Michael. I don't know. I'll
be honest with you, Jacob. At this point, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. So I'm just going to say, go get him, Tiger. Hope you make a decent movie. Yeah. At this point, I really don't have any hope for this movie. That copycat thing sounds terrible.
Nick doesn't like it. Nick doesn't think that this is going to be a good time for anybody. Me, myself, I will reserve my final judgment for October 18th or whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have high hopes, but I am going to hope, as I do when I walk into any movie, that this movie will be entertaining, because I don't want to waste my fucking time with it. Let's hope for good things. That's all I'll say. Go get him, Tiger, as you said.
You're fun.